It's interesting because I went to school for sociology, and this was always a hobby that I did. I never thought I'd take it seriously. And then in college, just so many people kept asking me to make them one, so I kind of stopped giving presents for a long time because these were my presents. And then, you know, they'd have them hanging up, so people would come over to their houses and ask them about it. So finally, I decided I should stop hoarding all the ones I've already made and, you know, probably do something about it. My mom is an art therapist, huge free spirit, so that really was my major inspiration. And then other than that, I'm a big movie buff and documentaries and a lot of music, stuff like that.
So those have been your sources of inspiration?
Yes, definitely. I'm always watching or listening to something when I'm making art. I've never been the neatest person. You know, I don't do straight lines. And so I found that making collages is sort of more freedom to make an image without it being perfect. And I sort of like the whole idea of it being a little messy and, you know, the different colors. I just think that it's a lot more freeing than making something that's just like very straight on what the image is. And
so I want to ask you about one of your favorite pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Hold this. Tell me a little bit about that. What inspired that? How did you get to that?
As you can see, the background is more like a black and white. Every time I make something, it sort of makes itself, I find. So I made black and white. I didn't like that. And then I decided to make the face. I really like making girls' faces. I don't know where it comes from, but it's my favorite subject. And I started out drawing it, and I didn't like that because it kind of looked like a cartoon. So I decided to fill it in with the small pieces. And my favorite part of making art is seeking and gathering all the small pieces. So this was very fun. That's why it's my favorite.
You want to tell me a little bit about?
This is like a different type of, you can see it's less piecey, but I still like to incorporate the collage aspect. I guess you can say I've sort of become a feminist. I've had a lot of screwed up relationships, so the fact that it says I'm not your doormat kind of expresses that. And then I always like to incorporate just small things that I like. You know, there's Edie Sedgwick, John Lennon, and Yoko. And there's a little blurb about Hanukkah. Yeah, I have a lot of fun with this stuff. You can see I use a lot of ink. I like doing drips and things because it kind of makes its own design once you do it.
I get the feeling that you find a lot of freedom in collage.
Yeah, it's my favorite thing ever. Okay, I sort of developed, I think it's my own technique. I don't know if anyone's used it before, but I call it decollaging. So this was a collage of just sort of newspapers and whites, and then I like to get it really wet and then peel it off and see what's left on. So I did that here, and then this says in French, if people are forced to drink dirty water, the rest of the world should get sick. Sort of like an activist thing. So I sort of thought this looked like dirty water.
That's great. I love it.
Thank you.
So where do you see yourself going? Where do you want your art to go from here?
I really just want to keep making it. I see that my audience is really people my age, my friends, and I think it makes people happy and excited because I don't really see a lot of people making things like this. So I would like to continue doing what I'm doing. You know, I'm not looking to change very much.
Are you looking to take your art into galleries or museums?
I mean, ideally, yes. Definitely looking to do that. Or even, you know, yeah. I like doing murals a lot, so I'd like to take it more towards that route as well.
If someone's interested in your art, where can they go to look at your collection?
It's collage-garage.com.